Ikoria, a plane where the impossible seems to happen all the time. A world which sees the normal boundaries of biological evolution broken and taking on new, more bold forms. Here, the normal is anything but, and things we believe to be mystical in nature take on a much more natural feel. In no triome on Ikoria is this better showcased than on the shifting, otherworldly region known as Ketria. Let's explore this bewildering environment and the strange monsters that inhabit it. In this, the latest chapter of Ikoria Lair of Behemoths ecological discovery. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Aether Hub. I'm Simon, bringing you more Magic the Gathering lore. Today we're continuing our series breakdown on the natural and somewhat unnatural plane of Ikoria and its ecology. Of course, if you're just jumping into this video, make sure you check out the rest of the series on your screen now or linked in the description below. Today our focus will be on the region of Ketria, a temperate forest full of pristine riverways and picturesque waterfalls. With Ikoria's iconic crystal formation seemingly more prominent in Ketria, its beauty is arguably unmatched. Those academics and mages who venture from the safeties of their sanctuaries often travel to Ketria, hoping to learn more of the dangerous world around them, drawn to its beautiful yet raw and dangerous displays of nature. The quartzwood forest is the defining landscape of this region, a dense crystal tree-infused area that glows a fleeting light day and night. The quartzwood is home to some of Ikoria's most wild combinations of monster clades, with some believing the powers of the crystals themselves enhance their already strange adaptations. Ketria is also home to vast waterways, twisting rivers who split the forests, all while leading to the largest lake on Ikoria, the Great Lake Aether. This body of water is so massive, those who come across it often mistake it for an ocean. The water is so deep that large aquatic monsters have evolved in its crushing pressure. Yet, while you may be entranced by the rolling mountainsides and windswept crystalline forests, do not forget you're on Ikoria, where monsters prowl even in the most tranquil of places. The real uniqueness of Ketria comes in the evolutionary leap the biological creatures here have taken to survive on the gigantic monster-filled world that is Ikoria. Much like the nightmares found deep in the swamps of Indatha, monsters in Ketria take on abstract ideas, the elements of the plane, and turn them into something more physical, something truly biological. The crystal-infused forests of this region pulse with raw magical energy, which has soaked the native creatures here deeply in elemental essence. Forces of water, earth, fire, and air come to life here in Ketria. They take physical form and in truth are just as alive as any other plant or animal on Ikoria. The elementals are the king clade of Ketria, forming familiar shapes and designs, but distinguished by the bright, vibrant colors, cracked and disjointed anatomies, and their otherworldly abilities. They may look like animals, but make no mistake, these are biological representations of the elements themselves, forces of nature given form. Elementals are naturally aloof and inquisitive creatures, not prone to bouts of anger or aggression. They're curious to a fault, and initially trusting of even humans. Because of this, Ketria is certainly one of the most safest regions to travel on Ikoria. However, that's not to say it's not without its dangers. Elementals have a deep connection to the crystal systems that make up their forest home. They're tied to these crystals and are in fact born from them. They will protect them at all costs, and their own abilities become bolstered the more crystals that surround them. This means if you damage or disturb a crystal formation, you could agitate a typically peaceful elemental into a rage. A Pyroceratops is just as dangerous as any wildfire, and when enraged, it's just as indiscriminate. Elementals here typically can be attributed to a single state of elemental being, such as the great rivers and waterways of Ketria representing the force of water and taking the natural form of elemental whales or even dolphins, such as the phase dolphin. These creatures are extremely peaceful and connect very easily with humans. They are easily bonded with and can help their bonder swim through the water at high speeds without the need to breathe. The phase dolphin can envelop a rider inside its essence, providing air and safety as they swim. Herons and other birds are another popular form for elementals to take in Ketria, such as the dreamtail heron. They represent the force of air in this region and take on a sleek, elegant appearance, almost wispy and ethereal. That is, when you can catch a glimpse of one. They're hard to spot in the sky as they can almost dissolve into the sky itself. They're certainly one of the most majestic and beautiful forms of monsters on Ikoria, but as they're reclusive, they're seldom ever spotted. Likewise, cats are another familiar form elementals can take, such as the frost lynx, who makes its home among the great crystal trees of the quartzwood. Though the temperature is constantly temperate here, the forest lynx can express an aura of cold around it, dropping the temperature several degrees in its vicinity. They're one of the few predatory elementals in Ketria, preying on elemental and non-elemental creatures alike. They hunt along the riverbanks of the region looking for otters, such as the thieving otter, and crustaceans, like the crustacean, as possible meals. One of the most unique aspects of elementals is their inherent ability to evolve and take on the forms of other clades of monsters. The crystals of Ikoria help in the mutation process that all monsters can undertake, and living in the crystal forests, the elementals of Ketria have taken massive steps in this evolutionary arms race. Air elementals have evolved with strong connections to cats of the Savai lowlands, creating the Skycat Sovereign, a flying cat that can generate more of its kind by budding off cat-bird hybrids. Water elementals have mutated with the nightmares of Indatha, sinking deep into the muddy waters of their borders and evolving the Slitherwisp. The crystals on its body supply it with the information from its dark environment. It's a fierce hunter who's one of the few elementals that sees humans as a viable target. The fire elementals have coalesced into one of the most unique creatures on Ikoria, the firefox Zerda the Dawnwaker. This fun-loving elemental peels back the destructive urge of its fire nature, leaving only cinders in its wake when it could create infernos. Yet one of the most iconic elementals, the one that has grown to represent what this clade is all about, would be Lutri, the Spell Chaser. Lutri takes the shape of an otter, and is just as aloof and curious. It senses and chases spell magic, often running into traveling mages. It looks to play among the magical energy of spells, often absorbing them into its own being via the crystals on its back. Floating high above the crystal forests, migrating with the power surges among the crystal-infused trees, is the apex monster of Ketria, Illuna the Wishgiver, apex of wishes. While the other apex monsters are known and feared, Illuna is truly a great mystery to the humans of Ikoria. Elementals are aloof, and this best describes Illuna. It's a monster with no known pattern, motivations, or drives. Though it's apparent it does in fact have these faculties, Illuna's just really good at keeping them secret. Illuna is mostly known for its prominent evolutionary trait, its unbelievable power to make dreams literally come true. On several noted occasions, it has been witnessed that Illuna can make wishes and dreams of people come into reality, for good or bad. Someone could wish to have great wealth, and that person may wake up to find a bountiful harvest, while someone else could dream of a great disaster and later a flash flood could ravage their lands. Illuna seems to bestow these gifts completely at its own whim, leaving many to wonder of its origin and purpose. Is it benevolent, cruel, or just a force of nature? The great planeswalking ecologist Vivian Reed managed to catch a glimpse of Illuna while traveling in Ikoria. Here are her notes from her field guide. Quote, "I heard the voice of Illuna. I spotted this ethereal being floating through Ketria, murmuring softly. I thought my vantage point was obscured, but it stared at me as if it were assessing my very soul. It let out a beautiful cry that, for the rest of my days, I will never forget." End quote. In terms of origins for Illuna, Apex of Wishes, even less is known. We turn to the great historian of Ikoria, Riel the Everwise, who is only able to provide bits and pieces of information that forms a vague mythos to Illuna. She can only tell us that Illuna conjured a great creature from dreams, an ancient tale of the creation of elementals or something else on Ikoria. Though her visions are blocked, perhaps by Illuna itself, and the creature is never easily described, leaving it a great mystery. The mythos of Illuna most likely speaks of the creation of the Elemental Clade, Illuna bringing them into existence. However, I did do a video where we explore the possibility that Illuna once created an effigy of the Eldrazi Titans on Ikoria long ago. And you can check out that theory video, linked in the description below or annotated on your screen right now. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's video, the latest installment of our ecological breakdown of Ikoria. Ketria is certainly a unique triome on Ikoria, filled with some of the most intriguing monsters in Magic the Gathering. Elementals given a more physical form and idealized through a biological scope. Make sure you check out the other videos in this series linked in the description below, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure you support the channel by leaving it a like, subscribing, and ticking that notification bell so you never miss out on a new video. As always guys, thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, see ya!